Hmm. What's going on, guys? Let me know if the audio is good. All right, so your boy's kind of new to the streaming game, so it took me a while to set some shit up. Let's just wait for probably 10. All right, I'm checking up with my moderator to see if my audio is good. All right. Donaire may be too big and defensively responsible with his more conventional style and signature left hook. We'll talk about that later. Okay. All right, hold on. Let me put the comments up. Man, I'm whack, bro. I don't know how to do this shit. Okay, here we go. Not expecting too many viewers, probably like 10 at max. But you know, we ain't here to talk about the issues and the fucking controversies around it. Fucking stupid ass bitch. Oh, there's a super chat down below, man. Hold on. There is a super chat down below. You can kind of donate. I'll read everything. I'll be on in an hour. Never mind, that's all. I'm here now. Okay, cool. Not expecting too many. We have 3 at the moment. Is it 3 on your part as well? I don't know. I think that we have 3 at the moment. But I think I need to add you. Can you try out the audio, Jared? Just transfer the avatar. Who do you think, in a way, will face the winner of that one? The winner of Donaire versus Casimero. All right, so my partner went away. Oh, isn't it on? I think it is. There we go. Let me see it on my phone. Hmm. All right, so my partner is having connection or issues with his internet. We can just read some comments for a while if you have any. Damn, but a lot of dudes are probably asleep by now, especially in the Philippines. Motherfucker. How many years do you think anyway will remain monster? Until he moves up. If he moves up from 118, he'll face some really tough guys over there. Can we speak Tagalog? No. I want everyone to understand the stream. But if you want to, you can donate on Super Chat, and I can answer you in Tagalog. Tagalog. I'm sorry, guys, my partner is sort of not here yet, so I can't start the discussion. Can we say bad words? You will be hidden. Hold on, let me check up on my moderator. Are you at the States right now? No, I am at Metro Manila. I can talk to you in your language. Mandorito. Is there a chance that Inoue will move up? Probably, if he becomes undisputed. Could could crossguard be effective in MMA? Probably not, because you have other areas that you have to protect, like your legs. And the crossguard is really only good for like head protection. You're very vulnerable for the body. It doesn't provide you with the coverage that you need. Someone messaged me. Hold on. Oh my fucking goodness. All right. Now we have 5. Good, 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 good. This is cool. I don't need much. Like, you notice all these content creators, they get hella views from talking about issues. Vada, fucking steroids. The issues get hella views, man. Rachel said this. What? All right, what's going on, folks? I can read the comments now. God damn it. I can't shout no more. A neighbor just... Or someone close to my room just said I'm too loud. All right. Rachel annoying as fuck, LMAO. She is. Mandarita Thurman or Spence Thurman. Enrique Meza, best Southpaw jabbers to film. Tough. Tough. Southpaw. I'd say Pernell Whitaker. Best boxer in the world right now. Crawford. No, not Crawford. Fuck. Canelo. Where is he? I'm right here, brother. I'll be back. Cool. I'm just gonna read everything that I'm gonna allow my partner to come in the stream. 8 viewers and counting. Cool. How you guys' day been? Oh, talking about the other viewers. It's all right. How about you? Damn, it's a chat up in here. What the fuck? All right, but better know that the boxing genius is lying. Guys, I'm new to boxing. Help me with a bet. Like a website, you'll need a bank account. You'll need a bank account that you can link it to, and then you can bet on different websites like Betfair and Intertops. Dan Burger maybe his #1 fan though. Cool. All right, we got 6 viewers. This is cool. I don't really need a lot, honestly. I just need some good ones that are, There he is.
Hey man, can you hear me?
Yeah, a little windy up in there, but it's cool.
Oh,
Shoot. It's like a helicopter flying by, Yeah, that boy lives by the island, that's why. Damn. This is tough, bro. We got 3. 3. My viewer's dropping, man. I think I need to, raise my voice a little bit, but that's tough. It's too late at night. Alrighty, we have 4. 5 is good. I don't care. We can have 5. There we go. We have 5. Man, that fucking neighbor sucks, man. Now I can talk in my normal volume. All right, I think I can talk about this now, and then the viewers will come in later, right? I think so. I think that's a good idea. Okay. So, here's the thing, folks. Hold on, let me ask my moderator about something, and then we can get right into it. All right, here he is. My man is going back and forth. Back and forth. It's okay. I think you got no mic, but it's okay. We got a new comment. Weird question, but the CTE ever cross your mind? It is windy AF over there. Holy crap. All right, let's just wait for him to return. But anyway, I think we can discuss this now. Yeah, we have like 6 viewers. Does CTE ever cross your mind when about to spar hard? I only spar hard when there's a fight coming up. Otherwise, I mostly spar light or moderate. Again, if you guys think I'm whispering, I am. I'm fucking whispering right now. I think we can ask this question first. What does Casimero do better than Donaire? All right, and all right. First of all, let me clear it up by I'll try to move that to some. Oh, okay. So my partner will come in later. So here's the reason why I'm doing this live stream. Okay, I'm doing this live because I've been seeing multiple opinions about this fight, and most of them are biased. They really are, and most of them are like parts of a camp, or they're a part of Team Donaire, they're a part of Team Casimero. They have history with Donaire, they have history with Casimero, and it's a really tough choice because even as Filipinos, we have a tough time like figuring it out. For me, both of them I'm a fan of both, but I think there are some things that Donaire does better. There are some things that Casimero does better. So today we'll have some questions that will sort of guide us into betting and into choosing who our pick is going to be. And this is the first one right here. What does Casimero do better than Donaire? All right, and I'm going to base this on a lot of things, from CompuBox numbers to techniques that they do in the ring. We're going to base it on a lot of things. Hold on, we have a new comment. Let's go. Okay. Yeah, let's go, man. I don't know what to fucking say, man. I think this video is gonna get demonetized because I keep saying bad words and shit. But yeah, it's my first time, so that's okay. What does Casimero do better than Donaire? Well, Casimero does a lot of things better than Donaire. Number one, he has a more proven right hand. Number two, he has better punch variety. Number three, he has better footwork. A lot of people say Donaire has better footwork. Like, get the fuck out of here. And then Casimero has better head movement. I'd say Casimero is better at wrestling with his opponent. He's better at pushing them around and stuff. He's better at fighting on the inside. And then most importantly, he's more of a volume puncher than Donaire. And that's not to take anything away from Donaire, but if you just look at Donaire's fights now, it's mostly pot shots, and we're gonna have one interesting fact later on that will settle this. But yeah, Casimero does a lot of things better than Donaire. He has better defense. He has better footwork as well, which might be overlooked. But he has really good footwork. Damn, I'm literally at whispering volume. I hate listening to myself at this volume, but you know, it's kind of late at night here in the Philippines, so I can't talk loud anymore. Casimero does a lot of things better. And Casimero is better at setting up his power shots. Like Donaire displayed that in his previous fight with the body. But most of the time, Donaire's punch is just out there. It's out there. Hold on. We have a new comment. I'm trying to read it. It's all good. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Hold on, we have. Yeah, so my partner's not here. All right, but just a couple of things. Casimero has multiple ways of defending himself, and then number two, Casimero is better at fighting on the back foot. Casimero is better at fighting while moving back and while moving laterally. Donaire doesn't have that anymore. He mainly relies on his pressure. And I think that's what Casimero does better than Donaire. My partner will come in a moment. Let's just wait for him. Now let's move on to what does Donaire do better than Casimero. I know a lot of people are kind of like underestimating Donaire at the moment. But Donaire does a lot of things better than Casimero. Surprisingly, Donaire throws more punches in a 12-round fight than Casimero. If you look at that Inoue fight, he threw 605. You look at Casimero versus Espinoza, Casimero only threw 300 plus, almost half of that. So in a way, hold on. Even though the internet is like non-existent, I should have left to live in the islands like him. Like who? Jago? Does he live in the island? I don't know. Yeah, I think he lives in the island. Shit. So again, Donaire throws more punches than Casimero, surprisingly. And Donaire is more precise, which might surprise most of you, but Donaire is actually more precise based on the CompuBox stats. He averages like 20 to 30%. You look at Casimero versus Espinoza or Casimero versus Ramirez. If you can look at it at beta.compuboxdata.com, okay? Beta.compuboxdata.com. That's where you can kind of see it. All right, we're back. Try my iPad and my phone. Yeah. Okay. Donaire said Casimero's flat-footed. What do you say about that? Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. Yeah, I may get demonetized by saying this, but that's bullshit. No, he's not flat-footed. Because here's what flat-footed is, okay? Flat-footed is you're basically planting your feet in one place, and then you are taking a couple of steps back every once in a while, taking a couple of steps forward every once in a while. Donaire or Casimero isn't all that. Casimero can move laterally, Casimero can move back, Casimero can pivot around his opponent. And I must say that his footwork is really up there, man. That's fucking bullshit. All due respect to Donaire, he probably watched like one fight of Casimero. But if you watch a lot of his other fights, his footwork is superb, amazing. What's cracking, Mr. the Boxing Genius, fellas, Mr. Bandito? All right, Bandito's not here at the moment, but yeah. Cheers. Ms. Mendoza, technically, Donaire got it by wear and tear in age. I am picking up Casimero in my honest opinion. All right, let's move on to the talking points because I'll just read the comment in between, okay? God damn it, I'm too tempted to read the comments, man. Good evening, Mr. Mendoza. When I'm about to read a talking point and then a comment pops up, I just click on it. Okay. What does Donaire do better than Casimero? Again, Donaire throws more punches, surprisingly, and he's more precise. He averages around 20 to 30% in a round. Casimero can go as low as 8%. 8% in a round. 8 fucking percent. And, I think Casimero is he's a very good push outer. But the thing is, Casimero can over rely on smothering too much. If you look at him, he exits and then he smothers. Don't worry, I'll turn on my camera later on to demonstrate this. Hold on. I'll read the comments later, okay? But again, Casimero is not as precise as people think. If you look at the CompuBox numbers, you can check it out at CompuBoxData.com, and then you can type in the fighter that you like to check out. But Casimero is not as precise. Donaire throws more punches. In his fight back in 2012, which went 12 rounds against Vasquez, he threw 500-something punches. In 2019, which is supposedly not his prime anymore, he threw 600-plus punches against Inoue. Are you fucking kidding me? Which leads me to believe that, as he got older, he now relies on volume. He now relies on many punches. He doesn't rely on that one punch no more. Why are you gonna cut? All right. So going back to my talking point, let's read some comments real quick. Shoot. Yeah, we'll set this at another time. Next time. People are like calling me, and I also have some people in the house as well. Where did I stop a while ago? I can watch this all day. Thank you. We have like 9. Yeah, but going back to what I was saying a while ago, Donaire throws more punches than Casimero. So for all of you Casimero fanboys out there, I hate to break it to you, but Donaire has a higher work rate. Maybe not as explosive, right? But he throws more punches, and he throws more punches now than in his prime. He throws even more punches now than in his prime. So that's another thing that he has. But other than that, I really don't see any other advantages. The fact that he's more experienced, that's another one. He's more experienced, he throws more punches, and he's more precise. That's really it. And he's a more proven and tested counterpuncher than Casimero. If you look at the knockouts of Casimero, it wasn't really counterpunches, but Donaire's knockouts a lot of them are counterpunches. So I think he has a better counterpuncher than Casimero. Where's the comments? Holy crap. Yeah, we're at 40 minutes now. Okay, now let's move to this. Is Casimero a tougher fight for Donaire than Inoue? I think so. And here's why. Casimero and Inoue only has one difference. Inoue fights clean. Inoue fights clean. He's too clean. He's too afraid to tie up with his opponent. He's too afraid to employ dirty tactics. If you look at that fight with Donaire, he had too much respect for Donaire. I mean, if I'm fucking Inoue, I'm going to stay in the middle of the fucking ring. But look what he did. He allowed himself to be on the ropes. He allowed himself to, like, circle around, you know. But for a guy like Inoue, that's rare. We don't see him doing that. But when he stepped in there with Donaire, he had too much respect. And when in the later rounds, when he actually pressured Donaire, you know, we saw how powerful Inoue was, and we saw how difficult it is for Donaire to fight on the back foot. We saw how difficult it was for Donaire to fight while he's leaning on the ropes, and that's what Inoue did too late. He did it too late. He should have done it early, and I think if he'd done it a little bit earlier, you know, instead of circling around and instead of running around, I think he could have bullied Donaire. And what I mean by bully, I don't mean, you know, beat him up or any of that. I just mean pressure him and force him to fight on the back foot. That's what bullying is. I don't know. This is the Boxing Genius. You should meet Mr. Boxing Unrivaled. I'll read the comments later. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. And so here's the reason why. Casimero is a tougher fight for Donaire than Inoue. Casimero's dirty. Casimero is dirty as a motherfucker. If you guys think that Casimero is a fighter who's very clean and he's all this and he's all that, wait till you watch his fucking fights. He's dirtier than a Mayweather. He is dirtier than a Ricardo Mayorga. This motherfucker is dirty. I'm telling you guys. Go watch his fight with Espinosa. Okay, he was hugging Espinosa all day. He was smothering Espinosa all day. And if we match that up to a guy like Donaire, the thing that we'll find is that Donaire finds it hard to deal with smotherers. He finds it hard to deal with motherfuckers who's willing to go chest to chest with him. An example of this is Frampton. Another example, Walters. Well, you may argue that both of those guys were at 126. I don't give a fuck. Because Casimero, I believe, is stronger than a 126 pounder. I really believe that, even if he's fighting at 126. Just his body structure as a whole. He is naturally stronger than a 126, and he can push guys around who are heavier than him. The shorter you are, the more leverage you can put upon your opponent. And the more you can push them around. So if you look at Canelo versus Kovalev, Canelo or Kovalev was a strong puncher, but how did Canelo push him around? He was shorter. And the shorter you are, the more you can push your opponent, the more you can use leverage on your favor. Guys, Donaire has trouble with smotherers. Donaire has trouble with guys who are willing to push him around. Donaire doesn't have trouble with outside fighters. Inoue is an outside fucking fighter. He had no trouble with him. But look at some moments of Inoue versus Donaire. I'll tell you this: if you watch a full fight, there were some moments where Donaire was pressuring Inoue on the ropes, and then what happened? Inoue took like 4 steps forward. He took 4 steps forward, and what did he do? He went right at Donaire. And what did Donaire do? Donaire moved back. Donaire was easily pushed back by Inoue, who was initially in the corner. He was initially in the corner, right? And then he walked forward 4 steps. He smothered Donaire. What did Donaire do? Donaire backed up. Imagine if that was Casimero. I'm telling you guys. Donaire has a hard time against people who is willing and who's tough enough to push him around. Most of his opponents are not willing to do that. Why? Because they have too much respect for his fucking power shots. Casimero doesn't have that respect. So I think Casimero is definitely a tougher fight for Donaire than Inoue, because he's not as clean as Inoue. Ubali, clean as a motherfucker. His style is very clean. He never clinches, he never engages on the inside, he never pushes Donaire around. What happened? Knocked him the fuck out. Inoue, clean as well, clean as a motherfucker. Very rare to see Inoue in the clinch. Very rare to see Inoue, pushing his opponent on their chest or putting his head on his opponent's chest. Casimero does that shit. Frampton did that shit at 126. Juarez did that shit. Who else? Walters did that shit. They pushed Donaire around, and what happened? Donaire got bullied. That's what I mean by bullied. By bullied, I don't mean knock Donaire out or beat him up. By bullied, I mean push Donaire around. It can be as simple as that, guys. All right. Where did we stop a while ago? Let's see. I'm going to read some comments now. Good evening, Mr. Mendoza. Good evening. Nes Mendoza. Casimero is infighting switch stance. That's a secret of Casimero. That's why he killed. Absolutely. Okay. You look at that knockout against Yamashita. He switched into a southpaw stance and he threw the uppercut from the southpaw stance. And a lot of his knockouts are the same way. Mayong kanikap, Mr. Bandido. Okay. Agreed, Mr. The Boxing Genius. Cool. Oh, no. That's my own comment. As Mendoza, what I think this fight, when Donaire launches his punch, launches his punch, he ducks. It's a tailor-made for Casimero in fight switching stance. You can take out Donaire. No. Okay, finish it quick. We have 10 viewers. This is what I expected. I expected like 10. Nes Mendoza, hello, Mr. Cuadro, let's defender. Sup? Enrique Meza, I don't care about the interruptions. Sup, bro? What's up, Cuadro, let's defender? Joey Mandino, yes, and he's more precise with his punches now. Absolutely. You look at his percentages against Rigondeaux, and then you look at his percentages against Inoue. It's way different. It's way different. He's averaging 30%. And if you guys don't know boxing, 30%, landing 30% of your punches in a round, it's fucking amazing. Even 20% is already good enough, But Donaire is landing 30%. Casimero is a trickster, and he turns it into a street fight. 100%, man. That's true. Do you think Donaire is a weight bully now at this weight? Donaire is a weight bully? He came down from a higher weight. Yeah, I would say he's a weight bully. I don't know what weight he went up, though, like the maximum weight. I think he went up to 126, but I'm not sure if he went any higher than that. I remember Donaire having a trouble making the 118. The reason he goes up to fight Walters and Rico. Yeah, Frampton says it was. Yeah, go watch the Frampton versus Donaire fight. Frampton was pushing Donaire around all night long. Casimero knows how to control your head with his gloves and forearms, absolutely. And once you move your gloves back, okay, I'm not going to talk about the game plan, but yeah, Mr. Bandido. Yeah, right, Casimero ain't giving respect in the ring. No one can intimidate him. Yeah, that's true. All right, so here we go. Don't hook with a hooker. Who wins this exchange? I'm not sure how I look like when I turn on my camera, but let me get my pen. I'll illustrate this real quick because a lot of people are spreading misinformation about this shit. And it really depends on the scenario. So I'll try to demonstrate it to you guys in a simple way. Give me a pen. All right. How do I look with this shit? Oh my fucking god. My laptop is awkward as a motherfucker. Yeah, I think this angle is good. So here's the thing. Don't hook with a hooker who wins this exchange. It really depends on where they are at the moment. So I'll show you exactly what I mean. If Casimero is on the back foot, leaning back like this, and Donaire is kind of neutral, and then Donaire throws the hook, Casimero throws the hook, Casimero will win that one. Why? Because he'll be too far to reach. If they are neutral, okay, Casimero is neutral, Donaire is neutral, they throw the left hook at the same time, who do I think will win? It's definitely Casimero as well. Why? Because he has the bladed stance. Okay, so I'll show you the difference. If my face is facing this way, squared up, the probability of the hook landing on my face is much higher. If I tilt it a little bit here, now the hook has a higher chance of like flying off on this side. And that's really the good thing about Casimero's stance. He has a bladed stance, and it's a lot harder to land the left hook with a bladed stance because all you have to do is to slip it. You only have to slip it. When you are right here, you have to duck down like a letter U. When you are bladed, you only have to slip it. So it's kind of different in that sense. However, here's the thing. If Donaire is on the front foot and then he catches Casimero in a neutral stance, not leaning back too much, Donaire will win that exchange. Donaire will win that exchange. Why? Because he's close enough now to where he can land a shot, and then he's too close now to get hit with the hook of Casimero, because Casimero usually throws it long, and that impression can kind of give, or can kind of deceive Casimero into thinking that he has to throw it long, when in fact it doesn't really have to do that. So it really depends on like where their position is at that particular moment. But I think the only way Donaire can win that exchange is if he leans forward a little bit. If it's neutral, he's going to get hit. If he's leaning back too much, he's going to get hit. So the only way he can really land that shit is if he leans forward and then he closes the distance. All right, let me turn on my camera now. I don't like looking at myself with the camera. It fucking sucks, man. Let's see. Yeah, Casimero distance towards deceiving, says Nakatani. He's in the fight switching chance. Yeah, okay, let me explain this. Because the thing is, the feet kind of gives an impression of like, here's the feet, right? The feet kind of gives an impression of how, or the head. Most of us look at the head, but the feet is really where it's at. The feet is what kind of decides the distance. And so all Casimero really has to do to expand the distance between him and Donaire, let's say this is Donaire, this is Casimero, all he has to do, he doesn't have to lean back all that much. You know what he has to do? He just needs to move his feet forward more. And now he doesn't have to lean back, but his feet is closer to Donaire. And that feet, the lead foot of Casimero, can serve as a shield. And it's going to be really hard for Donaire to reach him if he leans forward too much. Again, I wish I can demonstrate this to you, but the camera angle kind of sucks at the moment. Who? Says Yamashita. Absolutely. Yamashita became a victim of that stance. Now let's talk about Donaire's pressure versus Casimero's movement. Again, we're going to take in all these factors. The reason why I only have minimal viewers is because I don't fucking I don't talk about the issues that are roaming around at the moment. I can do that. I can do that, and I'll probably get like 50 views, and I'll spark up some controversy. Vader, Memo Heredia, racial. Fucking pussy ass bitch. Get the fuck out of here. I may get demonetized for this, but I don't really care. It's just too many content creators out there right now are putting all those content out. It fucking sucks, man. Hold on. Nonito is pretty good at fainting with his feet, but he's pretty straightforward. Yeah. He's a front foot fighter. He doesn't know how to fight on the back foot. And when he does, he gets hit. Look at that fight with Inoue, where he was on the ropes. Doesn't know how to respond. Only relies on the left hook. Okay, deny this pressure or Casimero's movement. Hold on. Another comment. And then here's the reason why I didn't bring anyone on here. Like most of these guys. You ever see most of these content creators who invite people and then they jerk off each other, you know what I'm saying? They jerk off each other. Oh, Casimero will knock him out. And then the dude beside him will go, oh, yes, Casimero will knock him out. Oh, they just jerking each other off. They just all agree with each other. They all have the same bias. And I don't like those fucking streams, man, where they have like 10 people on the fucking stream and they all have the same opinion. There's no room for disagreement no more. There's no room for like looking at the other side. Kind of sucks. They just jerking each other off with their fucking bias. So here's the thing. Donaire's pressure, Casimero's movement. I ultimately think that this will come down to like their stance. And I think Casimero's bladed stance will give Donaire a lot of trouble. And it will be hard for Donaire to pressure him all that much. And I'll explain why. Hold on, we have a comment. So true. Yeah, they're just jerking each other off and shit. Oh, that's a good point, brother. Oh, yeah, Casimero will knock Donaire out. Oh, yes. They're just fucking jerking each other off, you know what I'm saying? And then the Donaire fans on the other side are like, oh, Donaire is too experienced for Casimero. And then the dude beside him on StreamYard will be like, oh, yes, Donaire, I love Donaire too. Oh, yes, I agree. And they just all have the same opinion about shit. Well, Donaire's style is a bully to his opponent. Let's see. The moment I get like the pop-up. No, it's not it. Yeah. No. Just jerking each other off and shit. Like I can invite some people on here to get more views, right? I can invite maybe like 5 people, you know, and then we all talk. I don't like that shit. I don't really care about like having a lot of people on the stream. All right, so here we go. Because there is pressure, Casimero's movement. I'll demonstrate this once again. I think Casimero's movement will ultimately prevail in the end, and here's the reason why. Okay, again, I'll demonstrate it with the pen so that you guys can understand. Here's Casimero, and then here's Donaire. Donaire is a front foot fighter. Casimero is a back foot fighter. The problem is that a lot of the punches of Donaire only lands against people who are squared up. Once he faces a bladed stance, it's a lot harder to reach those areas that he normally reaches for, which is what? The body, the liver, the left side of the face, or the right side of the face, and then the right side. So I'll show you the pressure points of a Donaire. The pressure points of a Donaire are the following. The center of the face, number 1. What does he do? He catches you with a straight right hand. Number 2, another pressure point of a Donaire. Of course, the right side of the face. Throws that left hook. Another one, left hook to the body. Okay. A lot of those areas are quite protected when you are on the bladed stance. So if you are on a bladed stance, it's a lot harder to reach this area. Why? Because it's off to the side. It's off to the side. It's not here. It's not here. It's a lot harder for Donaire to land the punch on the center. Why? Because it's off to the side, motherfucker. Right? So if Donaire tries to land that right hand on Casimero, it's a lot harder to land it because it'll probably just fly off on this side. The reason why he landed a lot of right hands against Inoue is simple. Inoue is squared up. Inoue is right here. So it's so easy to like land it flush right here on the center. If you face a guy who has a bladed stance like a Casimero, he's going to be here. It's going to be a lot harder to land that right hand. And in addition to that, he's a back foot fighter. He's a back foot fighter, again, which makes his head way further than usual. Makes his head way further than usual, because the more you extend this leg right here, the further your head will be. And it'll take a long while before Donaire can figure out a way to like land a left hook on Donaire or land a left hook on Casimero. All right, let's see. Bro, it's better if you open your camera. Yeah, thank you. Agreed, Mr. Defender. Absolutely. No one can intimidate Casimero just from experience. In that Argentina, bro, that's a lot of balls. Just from experience alone, he's been a road warrior in his entire career. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that before. And it's like a home court advantage in basketball, right? The more you've been on the road, the more you've been away from home, the tougher you get, and the easier it gets when you're in your hometown or in your home court. Man, Casimero is so open to that overhand right, so is Donaire. It depends on what area, okay? I would say it's not much on the chin. The chin is a lot harder to reach for Casimero. Why? Because he turns it at the last second. You ever notice that shit? He turns it at the last second. It's right here, and then he turns it at the last second. And then the overhand right will fly off right here. I'd say that if Donaire is planning to like land the overhand right on Casimero, it will have to be on the temple. That's his best chance, because landing it on the chin is so tough. Landing it on the chin of Casimero is so tough. He like tucks it in at the last second. He doesn't have the shoulder roll. I kind of want to break that myth. He doesn't have the shoulder roll. He has the Philly shell stance, but he doesn't have the shoulder roll. He doesn't go here. Okay, he just leans back. He doesn't have the shoulder roll. He doesn't use his shoulders to like block the right hands. So it's quite different. So yeah, the best hope that Donaire has. Yeah, if you're trying to like land the overhand right on Casimero's chin, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. But on the temple, definitely, because even if you turn right here, the temple is still closer. So that temple shot is a good one for Donaire. And I'll outline this later, okay? Now let's look at this. Probability of going the distance and who has the edge. Going the distance, I think going the distance you have a good 20% chance. And yeah, the reason why is because either guy can knock out the other dude with one punch. Well, I believe that Donaire can only knock out Casimero in 2 power punches, not in 1. If Donaire lands a left hook on Casimero, I don't think he'll knock him out. He'll need another left hook to knock out a Casimero. Casimero has proven his chin time and time again that I think 1 left hook is not enough to knock him out or to knock him down. You need 2 power left hands from Donaire to put Casimero down. And yeah, it's only really 20%. It's a very slight chance. Let's look at this. Probability of a TKO for both and how. Okay, a couple of ways that they can get knocked out. Probability of a TKO for both and how. A TKO for Donaire is pretty high. I would say it's pretty high. You get a 60% chance. I'm sorry, Donaire fans. You get a 60% chance that Donaire will get stopped or knocked down. And then on the side of Casimero, you have a 30% chance. And the reason why is because that bladed stance is just so tough to figure out. And that bladed stance is all of Donaire's weapons is kind of hard to utilize against a bladed stance. That's why he had a hard time with Frampton. Frampton had a bladed stance. Rigondeaux had a bladed stance. I don't give a shit if he's a southpaw. He had a bladed stance. Jesse Magdaleno, I don't remember watching him. I don't think he has a bladed stance. Who else beat him? Walters didn't really have a bladed stance, but yeah, Frampton and Rigondeaux, they had a bladed stance. The reason why he had a hard time with Frampton is because all his weapons it's kind of hard to land. He tried to land the left hook to the body, it's too far away. He tried to land the left hook, Casimero is too far, or Casimero. Frampton is too far back. He leans too far back. He tries to land the right hand, it's too hard to reach. It's too hard to reach. Frampton just kind of neutralized all of it. Yep, that's true. So again, a lot of Donaire's weapon is kind of neutralized with the bladed stance, and it's hard to land it. I think his best chance is an overhand right, like a high overhand right, which unfortunately he doesn't have. He doesn't have an overhand right of a Maidana. He has a straight right, and then he has a follow-up or a follow-through kind of right hand. But he doesn't have an overhand right that goes high like this. He doesn't have that. He goes straight, you know? And so it's kind of different. Where am I again? What the fuck? Yeah, Casimero has a 30% chance of getting knocked down. No, I'm not here. What the fuck? StreamYard is I need to get used to this shit. Casimero has a 60%, or Donaire has a 60% chance of getting TKO'd, and then Casimero has half of that, 30%. Hold on. Where GGG has that arsenal? 7 months ago, I picked Nonito to win, but I can see him getting knocked out with an uppercut. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I can see him getting knocked out with an uppercut after he ducks Casimero's left hook. Cool. Yeah, I haven't heard like your opinion on this fight, but let's see. I can see a chance of Casimero getting knocked or getting TKO'd, given the right game plan, which is, hold on. Someone texted me. Given the right game plan, I think you can knock or you can beat Casimero by TKO, and I'll talk about that later. Okay. Someone texted me. All right. Cool. But Donaire has a 60% chance, and the reason why is because he just has way too many habits that way too many defensive flaws, way too many habits that Casimero will eventually exploit. And then in the end, you can really set him up with a good shot. And he has more punch variety. He doesn't knock out his opponents with the same punch. He knocked out Yamashita with a right uppercut. He knocked out Duke Michael with a left uppercut. He knocked out Tete with a right uppercut. And then he stopped Tete with a left hook. I think he stopped Amnat Rueng with a left hook to the body. He has multiple ways, multiple punches that he can use to knock out his opponent. And he's proven it in the past. Donaire, he really only knocks out his opponent with 3 punches. Left hook to the body, left uppercut. Nothing else. Hold on, let's see. What's up with Casimero changing trainers every damn fight? I don't think he needs it. I don't think he needs a fucking trainer. He can literally go in the ring with a cut man, and he knows what to do. He knows what to do. He's one of those guys. Like Roy Jones was that guy. You ever see Roy Jones like in between rounds with his corner? His corner doesn't even say shit. He just sits there, and he doesn't even need any strategies no more. He knows exactly what to do. He knows exactly what to do. You know, Roy Jones just sits there in between rounds. Roy Jones Jr. He just sits there. His coaches doesn't say shit. Why? Because he already knows what to do. He's so experienced. He doesn't need like strategies from his coach or something. And I think that's the same with Casimero. He's so gifted, man. He's so gifted. He doesn't really need to like rely on a trainer to win a fight. He can literally have a fucking cut man in his corner, and he'd still find a way to win. Let's see this. Secret weapons for both fighters. Okay, a lot of secret weapons. I think for Casimero, it's the right uppercut. Nobody's talking about the right uppercut. Nobody. If you look at Donaire has the habit of slipping here. Okay? And this puts him in the angle for the right uppercut of Casimero. What's the best way to set it up? The best way to set it up is a jab or a hook, because that will put Donaire in a position of that will force Donaire to duck down, and then Donaire or Casimero can catch him with a right uppercut on the way down, like Jago said right here. I think Jago said it a while ago. Right here, getting knocked out with an uppercut after he ducks. That's a good one. Secret. Nito's secret weapons of Bahada. You damn right. And then another secret weapon for Casimero is going to be his wrestling tactics, of course. I don't think anybody really like talks about his ability to smother his opponent, but I think that's his main weapon against Donaire, because he's so short and his body structure is perfect for pushing taller dudes around, longer dudes around. He can push Donaire all night. I can bet my money on that. He has the strength in the body type to do that shit. Just kidding. All right, we have 10. I don't really care if we only have 10. So that's it. I think that's a secret weapon for Casimero. It's definitely the right uppercut, and then the other one is his wrestling tactics. I think that will eventually set up his power punches when he smothers Donaire on the inside. Let's see. Great stream so far. Really enjoying it, bro. Thank you. How long you been boxing for? 7 years, man. Like I said, bro, Casimero's the king of adjustment in the lower weight class. Absolutely. Lord Mr. Bandito already making excuses for Donaire. His ability to control you with his arms within the perfect position for him to hit you. Yeah, again, that's Donaire's weakness. Donaire's weakness is guys who know how to smother and fight on the inside. He tried to engage on the inside against fucking Frampton. It didn't work. He tried to land his left hooks on the inside against Frampton. It didn't work. Why? Because Frampton was too damn close, and he put Donaire in a position where he can't really load up on those shots. So they were on the inside, and Donaire was throwing hella shots, but he wasn't really landing shit. Lol, me too, Mr. Vandilo. Where am I again? Motherfucker. Yeah. Okay, here's the secret weapon for Donaire, which I don't think anybody talked about. His fucking right hand. And I'll tell you guys why. Donaire doesn't have a jab, you know why? Because his jab is his right hand. His right hand is a setup for a power shot. A jab is also a setup for a power shot. But guess what? Donaire doesn't have a right hand, okay? Donaire doesn't have a right hand power shot. So he uses the right hand as a jab. Notice how he throws it like a jab? He uses it as a jab. Why? Because he wants his opponent to lean more on this side. And when his opponent leans more on this side, it brings the opponent's head closer to him where he can throw the left hook. His right hand is his jab. Pay attention to his right hand when he fights. He uses it like a jab almost. He goes here, he just snaps it like that. His right hand is his jab. Hold on, let's see your comment. How do you smother effectively though? After you throw your punch, you use your opponent's body to protect you from the upcoming counters. Okay. Hold on. Donaire have a jab. He always waits to his power jab. Yeah, he has, but he doesn't use it. He doesn't use it as much now. Like if you look at that fight against Inoue, he barely landed some jabs. Honestly, his right hand serves as his jab now, because it sets up his left hook. When he throws it right on the center, his opponent comes here, and then it brings them closer to his left hook. So again, this might be boring for like casual fans, but I'm really happy that there are some viewers in here who can kind of understand like the sweet science. His right hand is like a jab, and he uses it to set up the left hook. So if it's on the center, his opponent will be forced to like lean over here. Okay, if he throws the right hand on the side, his opponent will be forced to crouch down even lower, setting him up for the left hook. How about the Jonas Sultan's approach? Will it help Donaire? No, that's not Donaire's style. Jonas Sultan is like a fucking bull. He just goes at you. See what happened to fucking Romero Duno against Ryan Garcia? That's what's gonna happen to Donaire if he tries that strategy on Casimero. Okay, you saw how Duno was entering aggressively. That's not his game. You know, Jonas Sultan is a wrestler. Jonas Sultan he comes in and then he smothers you on the inside. That's not Donaire's game. It's different. Everyone who knew to follow the WBSS didn't have enough resolve except for the monster. You're missing out call sign. What does that mean? Doesn't have enough resolve except for the monster. Once they felt the power, they just gave up and fought like pussies. Casimero's a psycho, so I don't think he will mind. That's true. That's true. Stephon Young, Ryan Burnett. Ryan Burnett was fucking. He had the size and he had the length. He just respected Donaire too much, man. Then he got caught with that fucking body shot. Frampton and Walters had none of that, and that's the reason why they beat him, or they beat Donaire. Some would say, "Oh, he moved up at 126. That's why he got defeated." Well, again, imagine if he fights a guy like Casimero. Casimero will even be stronger than those 126 guys. I don't watch Donaire or never have watched him. You're missing out, call sign. Most of the time, I see Donaire, when he misses punches, he waits, not follow it up with a jab. The reason he was caught on anyway. I think so. Yeah, I think so. I kind of had to recall that one. Yeah, I'll give him a watch. Cool. So the secret weapon for him is the right hand. Everyone's underestimating it, but when fight night comes, his opponent doesn't see it coming. In fact, Donaire lands more right hands than left hooks, which is kind of weird. Donaire lands more right hands than jabs, which leads me to believe that the main purpose of that right hand is like the purpose of a jab, because he's basically trying to set up his power shot with that punch. It's just not with the left hand. Okay. So that's really the reason why. He doesn't really do a lot of damage with that right hand, but he uses it to force his opponent to lean over on this side. So the right hand comes, his opponent will be forced to lean more on this side, and he can set up those left hook, or that left hook. To come to the Burnett fight, and the Burnett fight was disgusting. They didn't give Nonito any credit. They didn't even show us highlights. It was I'm not sure. Was this? I don't know. I have to recall. His right hand is setting up for his left power punch. Yeah, that's why he doesn't throw the jabs as much. That right hand serves as his jab. He leans over here. He throws it straight like a jab. No power behind it. Casimero. So again, for Casimero, it's the right uppercut. Now, I'm making this quick because the game plan is kind of long. The game plan is really long. That's why I'm making all these other segments a little bit quicker. Hold on, folks. So for Casimero, it's the right uppercut. Hold on, we have another comment. Another fucking comment. Always wanted a power punch to land. This to KO. Absolutely. Is the right uppercut for Casimero, and then his wrestling tactics, of course. And then for Donaire, it will be that right hand. Because without the right hand, he won't put Casimero in a position where he's going to be open for the left hook. And the only time that Casimero will be open for the left hook is if he leans way too far here. If he remains in his bladed stance and he sits on his back foot, like what I mentioned a while ago, Donaire will never be able to reach him. All his left hooks will kind of fly off like this, So he needs to throw the right hand first, and then Casimero will be forced to smother him, and now he's closer, All right, so Donaire can throw the left hook from that position. Who do you think punches harder, Inoue or Casimero? Depends on what punch. I would say Casimero is more. If it's the uppercut, I would put my money on Casimero. If it's the uppercut, okay. If it's the right hand, argumentative. If it's the left hook, I'd put my money on Inoue. If it's the body shots, I'd put my money on Inoue. It's just more proven. He's proven his body shots more, or his body shots are more proven than Casimero. He uses that straight to move you to his left. Absolutely. And people are talking about this in my pre-fight analysis. It's like, you're wrong. I wasn't fucking wrong, man. It's just that Donaire came with the right game plan, and the Ubali went against the game plan that I outlined. The game plan that I outlined was to stay out of the left elbow of Donaire, and then he stopped doing that, he got knocked the fuck out. Maybe I should be a strategist for these fighters, don't you think? I don't know. Let's see. Is Donaire style more dangerous for Casimero relative to Rigo's? Okay, I know I'm gonna get a lot of bashers onto this. I think Rigo's style is more dangerous for Casimero at this moment, okay? Because Donaire has a puncher's chance. Anyways, harder puncher as a defender, you can see it by his box rec. Yeah, he's more proven. He's proven himself more as a knockout artist than Casimero, definitely. Bonito is definitely the sharper punches. I think of his punches like a sword. Casimero has a blunt force like a warhammer. Yeah, he's like a sledgehammer. You just swing it and then you put it into the fucking tire. A sword is like you stab it on the tire and then it just goes down straight. That's the main difference. Again, we ain't talking about the issues today. If you have any fucking questions about the VADA and all this shit, here's the thing. I don't give a fuck about the Twitter brief. I don't even get that to begin with. You know what I'm saying? So I don't need viewers, and I don't need to talk about those things. This is just a technical analysis on the fight, and if you don't like it, go ahead. Okay, here we go. I think I need to put up the banner. Here we go. Best game plan for both fighters. This is really the main highlight of this discussion, and I saved it for last because I think you guys are going to learn a lot of things about this. So I'll just look at my notes because I don't want to forget it. Let's start with the game plan for Donaire. Okay? For decision. If Donaire is going for the decision, if Donaire wants to win by decision, here's the game plan that I would recommend. Okay? The game plan that I would recommend for Donaire is really to give Cuadro Alas minimal smothering opportunities. So again, here's Donaire in his neutral, straight-up stance, and then here's Casimero in his bladed stance. What you'll notice with Casimero is that whenever he throws his power shots, he smothers with his opponent. So let's say he throws a power right hand, he's going to be on the left side of his opponent. A right hand, his head is going to go here. Okay, so he throws a right hand, he leans over to the side of his opponent. He leans over to that side, to the right shoulder or to the right stomach. He can't allow this to happen. Donaire cannot allow this to happen if he's fighting Casimero. Why is that? Because all of Casimero's punches, if you look at him, all of Casimero's punches which lands comes off of his smother. So his smother is right here. He's gonna come up, throw an uppercut. He's gonna smother again. He's gonna throw two punches. He's gonna smother again. He's gonna throw uppercuts. Right hand. He's gonna smother again. You will rarely see Casimero throw or land his punches from the outside. Okay, so when he's on the outside, he's more defensively responsible, but he has a tendency to get lazy. Go watch the first couple of rounds against Tete. Against Tete, Tete did not give him that smothering space. Why? Because he was too far away. So Casimero cannot just throw a right hand and then smother Tete and then lean over to the body of Tete. He can't do that against a Tete. And guess what happened? Tete outpointed him. If it wasn't for that knockout, Tete would have probably outpointed him. Tete would have beaten him by decision. Because Casimero has a tendency to get lazy if he stays too far on the back foot. He needs to smother. He needs to lean forward. He needs to put his weight on the front foot. He needs to smother with his opponent in order to establish position. He needs to engage on the inside in order to establish his offense. Without that, he has a tendency to get lazy. Look at that Tete fight. If it wasn't for that power shot that he landed on Tete, Tete could have outpointed him. You know, look at that Espinoza fight. The only punches that he really landed on that is on the inside. It was very rare for him to land the shots from the outside, and I'll tell you guys why. Okay, Casimero has this tendency of throwing a power shot. Hold on. Nonito does the same move that cracked the monster's orbital bone. He does, but it's not as close. So if you notice that punch, for example, Inoue was in the corner, right? I remember that punch. And the Donaire leaned forward a little bit, but he didn't lean all the way here. He did not lean completely on Inoue's body. He leaned a little bit here, right? he got a little bit close, and then he threw the hook, broke the monster's orbital bone. He doesn't do the same move. If Donaire gets a little bit closer, and then he gets into a smothering position, it's a different story. It's a different story. Why? Because from there, Casimero can use a lot of his wrestling tactics. He can tie up Inoue's hand, and he won't be able to land those shots. How did the Las Vegas bookies evaluate the odds? Why did they favor Donaire? Are there odds already? I don't know. Are there odds already, guys? I don't know. I'll have to kind of check that out. Donaire is the more proven fighter and is overall a better fighter. Absolutely, absolutely. But again, like I always said, it's a game of relativity, and in this particular fight, a lot of Donaire's strengths are kind of off. It's the 3 punches that I talked about, which he uses to win a fight. Right hand to the center, left hook to the right side of the face, and then the left hook to the body. It doesn't land as much against a bladed stance. It's difficult. It's harder to land against a bladed stance. The only way for Donaire to really land those shots is if he gets Casimero into a squared up stance. If Casimero stays in his bladed stance like this, okay, it's going to be difficult. However, if you force Casimero and if you put him in the position where he squares up, now the right side is closer, and I'll talk about that later. So let's see this one. Where am I again? What the fuck? Okay, so again, for decision, he needs to avoid the Casimero from smothering. How does he do that? Just step back constantly. Casimero throws the right, step back, which means that Donaire will have to fight on the back foot, and then pressure him later on if he wants to win by decision. That's what I think. Because if you give Casimero too many opportunities to smother you and to engage on the inside, he's gonna throw a lot of those sneaky punches that he has. He throws uppercuts from the inside that you don't see coming. He throws left hooks on the inside that you don't see coming. And yeah, that's what I would say if he wants to win by decision. Give Casimero minimal smothering opportunities. So Casimero is the one on the back foot. If he tries to smother Donaire, all Donaire has to do is step back and then throw his right hand. Like he did to a Bali. You ever saw that fight with a Bali? All Donaire did was step back and then throw the right hand and then move away. That's all he did. And that's what Donaire needs to do if he wants to win by decision against Casimero. For the knockout, hold on. I wonder if Casimero is going to leave his hands down like he always does. Hold on, guys. I'll try to transfer the camera to a better angle. I wonder if Casimero is going to leave his hands down like he always does. I think so. I think he's going to use that shoulder roll stance, and it's going to work for him. I think he's going to use that same stance. Because if he shouts up, he doesn't really know how to fight with a high guard. So I don't think he'll resort to that. And if he shouts up, he's going to be on the front foot. If he's right here, he's going to be on the back foot. And Casimero operates better on the back foot. That's why I think it's going to keep his hands down most of the fight. Let's see a better fucking angle. All right. Here we go. Oh my goodness, my back hurts. Hold on. In the States, they favor Donaire because they haven't known Casimero that much yet. Yeah, I think I saw a podcast of Sean Porter. If you guys know Sean Porter, I think a lot of his, I think they mentioned in his podcast that they are favoring Donaire or something. I'm not sure. We have Duck. Who's Duck? I think Jagger knows this guy. I can't wait. I'm so hyped. My back hurts. Spinal. Yeah, man. Fucking. I don't like sitting for too long. Shit. Okay, so like I said a while ago, if he wants to win by decision, he's gonna have to do it by not allowing Casimero to smother and by outlanding him. Boom. All right. That's the only way. Okay. If Casimero tries to smother, step back, left hook. It doesn't have to be powerful. He just needs to tap him. If Casimero tries to enter with the right hand and then he overcommits, he leans forward way too much, right hand, step back, right hand. He has to do that in the fight, which means that he'll have to be on the back foot, and which means that he's going to have to allow Casimero to pressure him, which is kind of contradictory, right? Because we've seen Donaire kind of pressure forward a little bit more, but if he wants to win by decision against Casimero, he needs to fight on the back foot for a while, and then he needs to outpoint him first before letting it all out, which is sort of a dangerous option. I think if Donaire goes for the KO, it's a little bit safer. I mean, Jaga's Discord. Oh boy. We got some Discord dudes in here. Lol, Donaire is American love, dude. Yeah. Duck is a drunken master on Discord. Oh, is that him? Okay. Mr. Duck's up. Well, Mr. Bandito, he is literally. I'm so happy because there's only a few guys in here, and almost all of you are fucking. You got some brain cells, you know. So, yeah, for knockout, it's gonna be a different strategy. So a while ago, when I explained how Donaire will win by decision, I said that he should not allow Casimero to engage on the inside and smother with him, use his wrestling tactics against him, right? If he wants to go for the KO, he needs to allow that to happen. He needs to allow Casimero to smother with him. And I'll tell you guys why, okay? The only way that the blazer stance is a really tough thing for Donaire because, like I said a while ago, the three weapons that he has, the straight right hand on the center, the left hook on the right side of the face, and the left hook to the body is much harder to land with the bladed stance. Why? Because it's much further away, especially for a guy like Casimero who's leaning more in the back foot, right? It's much harder to reach. So the only way that Donaire can really catch Casimero is if he catches him squaring up. When does Casimero square up? Casimero squares up when he overcommits on a shot. So if Casimero throws a right hand, he'll usually square up. I'm not sure if I can like demonstrate it right now. If, let's say, I don't know if I can do this. If Casimero is on the blaze stance, right? And then he throws the right hand, he overcommits. Now all of a sudden he's squared up. And this is the only time that Donaire can really land a clean shot on him. If Casimero or if Donaire tries to land a clean shot on him with this bladed stance, it's going to be difficult. So the only way really for Donaire to time him somehow is by allowing him to square up. And the ultimate key to allowing Donaire to square up is by forcing or allowing Casimero to square up is by allowing him to smother you. If Casimero can smother you, he has the willingness to square up. What is an example of this? Yamashita. Or Casimero was switching stances. Casimero was squaring up. He was like this. He wasn't in his usual stance. He wasn't like this. He was like this against a guy like Yamashita. Why? Because Yamashita allowed Casimero to smother him. And you know what happened? Yamashita landed some shots. Yes, he did. He landed some uppercuts on the inside. He landed some left hooks on the inside. He was beat up, but he was landing some shots on the inside. When Casimero was squaring up, if you try to land your punches while Casimero is in this blade position, it's going to be hard. Why? Because it's too far to reach. And number two, he has a lot of footwork strategies that he uses to, defend those punches that you may throw at him. So that's the first step. The first step is to allow Casimero to smother him. So a while ago, if he wants to win by decision, like I said, right, Casimero will have to go here, and then Donaire has to stay away. Donaire has to step back. If Donaire wants to win by knockout, the game plan will be different. Casimero will overcommit to a right hand, for example, Casimero will overcommit. He's gonna smother. He's gonna resort to that smothering option, which we talked about a while ago. And then Donaire has to allow that to happen. Donaire has to allow that to happen. And the reason why is because smothering will ultimately bring him in a squared up position. If Casimero remains in this fucking if Casimero remains in this bladed stance, it's a lot harder to catch him. If you can put him in a position where he throws a right hand and then he squares up, now the right side of the face is closer. Now the body is closer. You know, and yeah, that's the first step. Hold on, let's read some comments for a while. Which style is more difficult to emulate or inspiring? What do you mean, like between Casimero and Donaire? I think Casimero is hard to emulate, and definitely. Next time, bring some Barbie dolls for demonstration. God damn it! I wish I can really do it, but yeah, not much space in here. If Casimero can KO Donaire with slingshot his career, I think that's Al Heyman's plan, Defender. What is his plan? What is Al Heyman's plan? Tough mountain to climb, though. Absolutely. So that's the first game plan. Okay. Again, if Donaire wants to win by decision, he cannot allow Casimero to smother him. Why? Because all of Casimero's power punches are landed in that position when they are inside. If he wants to win by knockout, though, he needs to allow that to happen. So he needs to give Casimero the opportunity to smother him. All right. So if Casimero throws a right hand, Donaire needs to allow Casimero to lean over on his arm. He needs to allow Casimero to smother him, and then we'll have the plan B later on. But that's the first one. You need Casimero to smother him. Why does Donaire need to allow Casimero to smother him? It's pretty simple. It puts him in a squared up stance. When Casimero is trying to smother you, he puts him in a squared up stance. He also squares up when his opponent is on a absolutely. He did it against Tete. He did it against Yamashita. Okay, when he knows that his opponent is defenseless, he goes to that squared up stance, and we'll talk about that later. Okay, so that's the ultimate key, and then we'll have some sub components that we'll talk about. That's the first key. You need to allow Casimero to wrestle you if you want to win by knockout. Donaire needs to allow Casimero to wrestle him if he wants to win by knockout, because Donaire cannot knock him out in his bladed stance. It's difficult. Okay, but there is one way. There's actually one way to beat or to catch Casimero with a good shot with the bladed stance. The left uppercut. Hold on. Yes, but that's when he knows they really hurt. Absolutely. He doesn't square up when it's dangerous. So if you notice him, even when his opponent is already on the ropes, he's still like this. You know, he's still leaning back. He's still like in his bladed stance. He doesn't go like this, you know, where he's overly close to his opponent. He's still defensively responsible. He's still leaning back like this, and he's pressuring his opponent while his opponent is on the ropes. So quite different. It's quite different. He only does that when his opponent is really defenseless. He only squares up like this, you know, when his opponent is defenseless. Otherwise, he stays in this bladed stance. Okay, so if Donaire wants to beat Donaire, or Donaire wants to beat Donaire, if Donaire wants to beat Casimero with the bladed stance like this, from this position, the main weapon will not be the left hook. The left hook will be difficult to land. The main thing that he should look for is the left uppercut. The left uppercut. A lot of people underestimate his left uppercut. He knocked out multiple opponents with his left uppercut. I think y'all must have forgot, man. Y'all must have forgot that Donaire also has a killer left uppercut. It's kind of overshadowed by his left hook. But I'll tell you guys why the left uppercut is going to be more effective. You know? Casimero has this habit of, you know, leaning or bending too low at the waist. And that will give Donaire an opportunity to catch him with a left uppercut on the way down. How does he do that? Well, he can do that two ways. Number one is to throw a punch that will bring him to that position. What is that punch? The punch that will bring Casimero into this position where he bends too low at the waist is the right hook or the overhand right to the temple. Okay, so if you throw a right hand to the temple of Casimero, his first instinct is to duck down, bend at the waist. And you see that in his fights as well. When his opponent throws a right hand at him, he does two things. Number one, he either steps back or he bends at the waist. Once he bends at the waist, Donaire can time him with the left uppercut. Number two, you need to bait Casimero to throw a punch that will bring him to that position. What is that punch? It's the left uppercut and it's the left hook. If you ever notice Casimero, he throws the left hook like this, and then he bends at the waist. He uses this bending at the waist as a defensive mechanism to avoid the counter shot of his opponent. Now, that is good for dodging the counter left hook of your opponent. So after he throws the left hook, he bends at the waist like this, the left hook flies off. But what about the left uppercut? I don't know why nobody has ever done this game plan to him. And I'll tell you guys why nobody has ever done it to him. Because they never allowed, or it's because they didn't do it at a position where, Casimero is resorting to smothering. They did it at a position where Casimero was stepping back. So after he threw this one, he's going to bend at the waist, he's going to step back. Like I said, the main key, the ultimate key for Donaire to knock out a guy like Casimero is to give him the confidence in his smothering skills. What is smothering? Smothering is basically after you throw the right hand, you're going to lean on your opponent's body and use it as a shield. Okay? So imagine as if this is Casimero, this is Donaire. Casimero will throw the right hand. He's going to lean over beside the body of Donaire. He needs to bring Casimero to that position. Why is that? Because once Casimero gets confident with his smothering skills, now Donaire can have this adjustment, okay? If Casimero throws a left hook and then he bends at the waist, the first thing that he wants to do is his smother. First thing that he wants to do is smother. So if I throw the left hook, right? I know you're close. I throw the left hook. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to bend at the waist. And not only will Casimero bend at the waist, but he will smother. Once Donaire gives him that confidence to smother all the time and to tie up with Donaire all the time. Now, when Donaire or when Casimero throws that left hook, he's going to throw that left hook like this, right? And then he's going to try to smother against Donaire. All Donaire has to do is to step back and then catch him with a left uppercut. So Casimero will throw a left hook. He's going to bend at the waist. He's going to try to smother. He's going to try to put this side of his face on the left elbow of Donaire. He's going to try to lean over to Donaire's shoulder. And then what happens? Donaire will take a step back. Take a step back, uppercut like that. Again, I wish I can demonstrate it to you, but I don't have that much space. So the ultimate key, like I said, is to allow Casimero to smother you. And then once he does that, you need to bring him to a position where he's bending at the waist. There are two ways. Number one, throw a punch that will bring him to that position, which is a little more unlikely. You need to throw a left hook to or a right hand to the temple. When you throw a right hand to the temple, that's going to bring him over to this side, and that's going to force him to bend at the waist, because that's his natural way of defending the right hand. Okay. The second one is to bait Casimero to throw a shot that will bring him to that position. It's either the left uppercut. If he throws the left uppercut, you usually see this. Left uppercut, bend at the waist. Left hook, bend at the waist. So that's the first step. You need to bring him to that position where he bends at the waist, and you need to bring him to a position where he tries to smother you. Once you give him the confidence to smother all day, he's going to do that time and time again. If you want an example of this, watch Casimero versus Espinosa. Once Espinosa allowed Casimero to smother him, Casimero just kept doing it. Casimero just kept doing it. Casimero just kept smothering him. And I don't know why Espinosa wasn't able to make an adjustment. All he had to do was, if Casimero decided to smother him again, he just have to step back and then place a punch, catch him with a punch on the way in. Let's see. Man, why am I clicking? Why didn't I see Casimero as flat-footed? Is he? No, depends on what fight he watch. I don't know, man. Maybe he's a blotter giant against outmatched opponents. He has pretty decent footwork when he uses them. Yeah, absolutely, and he has many ways to turn his opponent around. So again, the best way is to, if he wants to knock Casimero down or out, The best way is to land that left uppercut as Casimero is going down and bending at the waist. Here. Then after that, I don't think it's going to be enough. If he lands a left uppercut, I don't think it's going to be enough. I think he needs a left hook to follow that up, and then he can finally put Casimero down. But that's the first one. Time him on his way down when he's bending to the right side. And then the second one, that's the first one. The first one is if he wants to knock Casimero down or out in the bladed stance. So in the stance right here, the only way to really knock him down or to time him with a power shot is as he bends down, as he bends at the waist. When he bends at the waist, he becomes vulnerable for the left uppercut. And if you guys don't think that Casimero is not vulnerable for the uppercut, look at the fight with Espinosa, and then look at the fight with Yamashita. He was getting caught with uppercuts when he was going that low, because Casimero has this habit of ducking super low, sometimes even below the groin, even. However, if he wants to catch Casimero squaring up, which is what I would prefer, there's another way. And Casimero tries to be conservative with the movement since it doesn't have the best gas tank. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. He doesn't use his feet way too much. Okay. So we've already tackled the game plan if Donaire wants to catch Casimero with a good shot with the bladed stance. Now we're gonna speak on the strategy for Donaire if he wants to knock Casimero down with a squared stance, which again will come from our foundational strategy, which is to allow Casimero to smother us early on. That's going to be his first strategy, because if you don't allow Casimero to smother, Casimero will just stay on the back foot, and he's going to make you miss all night. The only time that his opponents really landed shots on him was when he leaned forward a little bit, and then he got close. If he's on the back foot, it's really hard. Donaire or Maiko was able to catch him squared up. Yamashita was able to catch him squared up. Who else? Espinosa was able to catch him squared up on the inside. But when he's on the back foot, it's really difficult for people to hit him. That's why I always say, the best way to really catch him is by putting him in a position where he's squared up, not in his bladed stance. The best hope of Donaire to land a punch on Casimero with the bladed stance is really to catch him on his way down as he's bending at the waist. So Casimero has this habit of pulling back and then ducking down and then smothering. He's gonna bend at the waist and then he's gonna lean over. He's gonna search for the left side of his opponent's body, and then he's gonna kind of shove his head in there, and he's gonna smother. All Donaire has to do is to give him that confidence to smother time and time again. And then when he does it again, he's going to smother right here. He thinks that he's going to get close enough to Donaire. Donaire simply has to step back and then catch him as he's in this position with the left uppercut. Then after that, he can catch him with a left hook. Those grapefruit cows allow him to cover great distance, man. Allow him to counter off of a bounce too. Yeah, that's true. Okay, squared up. Here's the game plan for Donaire if he wants to knock or if he wants to time Casimero with a good shot while Casimero squared up. So a while ago it was bladed, now it's squared up. A while ago it was bladed, now it's squared up. Again, this is a different scenario now. So if he wants to do that, it's gonna come from our foundational strategy again, which is to allow Casimero to smother. The reason why I keep repeating this is because a lot of people tend to forget, these things. So I keep on repeating them so that you guys can remember. The foundational strategy for Donaire is to allow Casimero to smother him. Why? Because it's going to give confidence for Casimero to be on the front foot and to engage on the inside. If he doesn't do that, it's going to be hard to hit him. If he doesn't do that, Donaire will take rounds and rounds. He will waste rounds trying to figure out how to land the left hook on the bladed stance of Casimero. It's going to be hard. So if he wants to catch Casimero squaring up, the best way is, again, give Casimero the confidence of smothering. Casimero has this habit of throwing the right hand and then leaning over to the right side of his opponent. Look at that fight with Espinosa, like I said. That's a good reference fight. Bro, Casimero can go 12 rounds easily. He didn't make it sweat on his recent fight. Absolutely. I'm not questioning his stamina, his ability to go 12 rounds. Absolutely, he can go 12 rounds. So, again, you need that smothering space. Donaire needs to give Casimero the confidence to smother time and time again. And once he does that, Casimero or Donaire will make that last second adjustment, like I said. A while ago, I talked about the left hook and the left uppercut. The left hook and the left uppercut will bring him to this position. Okay? The uppercut will bring him to this position. And then from that, he can kind of drop his weight, step back, and then throw a left uppercut as Casimero's going down. That's the first scenario. The second scenario is this. When Casimero throws his right hand, his power right hand, he's going to square up. He's going to try to smother once again. Now, all Donaire has to do is, as Casimero throws the right hand, he overcommits to it, right? He resorts to smothering. And then, again, this will only happen if Casimero gives, or if Donaire gives Casimero the confidence in his smothering skills. And the only way to do that is by allowing Casimero to push him around and smother him early on. Because if he doesn't do that, then Casimero will be going back to his fucking defensive self. Casimero will just stay in his blizzard stance and he'll make Donaire miss all night. The safest way to hit a guy like Casimero, who has the very solid bladed stance, is by keeping him out of that stance. How do you do that? You force him to square up. Instead of being at the blade, you force him to square up. So he's going to throw the right hand, right? He's going to throw the right hand, right? And then he has this tendency of leaning over to this side and then smothering his opponent. Now, if Donaire tries to kind of a left hook to the head, it's going to be hard. Why is that? Because when Donaire or when Casimero throws the right hand, his right hand is so far off the center that most likely the counter left hook of Donaire will only fly off right here. It won't hit him. Okay? So, to me, if Casimero will throw the right hand and he tries to smother, Casimero throws the right hand, he will try to smother. All Donaire has to do is to, again, step back here at the last second, give Casimero the impression that he can just smother all night and then do this at the last second, step back at the last second. Casimero thinks he can smother at the last second. Donaire will step back, and then Donaire will catch him with a body shot, left hook to the body, not a left hook to the head. Why? Because, like I said, when Casimero throws a right hand, his head is too far to the side, okay? But the body stays relatively on the same place. Even if my body's right here, even if my head is right here off the center, pretty far from your left hook, Donaire can still land the left hook on that body, on that level, you know? So that's kind of the ultimate key for Donaire. Catch Casimero on his way in as he throws this overcommitted right hand, and then when he tries to smother Donaire, when he tries to smother Donaire, all Donaire has to do is to step back at the last second. All right, make Casimero think that he can just smother him after he throws the overcommitted right hand. Step back, and then catch him with a body shot, not a headshot, because like I said, the head will be too far off the center, and it's gonna be hard to like land the left hook here. But the body remains at the center. The head may be too far to the side, but the body remains at the center. So here's how it's gonna look like if it does happen, you know. Casimero will try to throw the right hand at me. He's going to try to smother right here on my side. Casimero will overcommit. All I have to do is to step back at the last second. All right. And then, what punches it again? His head will be right here beside me. His head will be right here, too far to the side. But his body will remain at the center. That's why all Donaire has to do, okay, your head is right here. The body's still right here. He can hit him to the body because the body remains at the center. You know, again, this might sound boring to most of y'all, but you know, I have a film study coming up which will explain this a little bit better. Okay, now let's talk about the game plan for a guy like Casimero. How he will knock out Donaire. To be honest with you guys, there are many ways that Casimero can knock out Donaire because his punch variety, and if you just look at his history, he has punched many dudes out with different punches. You know, he knocked Tete down with a right uppercut. He knocked out Yamashita with a leaping right uppercut. He knocked out Duke Micah with a left uppercut. He just has way too many options. He knocked down Nato Rueng with a left hook to the body. Very different punches every fight. So there are many options. But to me, I think the best way is that Casimero or Donaire needs to. Okay, this is going to be contradictory, like I said. Casimero will need to stay on the back foot. Okay. Now, the further he stays on the back foot, the more Casimero or the more Donaire will lean forward. So you notice this? The more Casimero is on the back foot, the more Donaire will lean forward. Why? Because that act of leaning forward will bring him closer to the face of Casimero, which is really the target. And to me, the best way is to stay on this blade, right? And then frustrate Donaire, and then force Donaire to counter you with the left hook, or it's gonna be the pull counter. Let me make this short. It's gonna be the pull counter. So the key is to bait or to frustrate Donaire enough to where he leans on the front foot, and then he leans forward way too much, and then the more, if you notice this, the more Donaire is on the front foot, the more overcommitted his shots are. So if he's leaning backward and then he throws the hook, he's not as overcommitted. If he's forward though, if he's on the front foot and then he throws the hook, he overcommits. And that's how he got knocked out against fucking Walters. You know, he was on the front foot, he tried to throw that long hook, leaping hook, and then what happened? He flew like this. And look what's open. The left side of my face. So I think the best way for Casimero to knock him out is, honestly, you can do it offensively. You can do it offensively, but to me, as Donaire throws the left hook, he's gonna fly off of here, and then from there, Casimero can use a pull counter on him. So step back, right hook over the top of that left hook, or straight right hand over the top of that left hook. And then another one is a right uppercut, which is quite underrated. He needs to set it up though. He needs to set it up with a right hook, because the right hook will bring Donaire down. So if you notice, when Casimero or when Donaire gets hit with a right hook, he goes down like this. Okay, and the lower he gets, the more open he becomes for uppercuts. And then if you notice also, he uses the elbow block like this. So when Inoue was throwing right hooks at him, he ducked down, and then he was using this elbow block. And the problem here is that you have no protection for the right uppercut no more. So Casimero needs to hit him with a couple of those looping right hands through his guard, and then that's going to bring him down. That's going to bring Donaire down low. And then from that, he can set it up with a jab, and then he can throw an uppercut, which, you know, we've seen Donaire get knocked down with the uppercut before against Walters. Walters, who a right uppercut, he got knocked down. You know, he's not really good at defending that punch, historically speaking. If you look at his old fights and even his recent fights, he's not good at defending uppercuts. I'm not sure why. Not a lot of opponents throw it at him. It's clear that he's not really aware enough to see that shot coming, you know. So yeah, it's going to be a pull counter right hook or a right uppercut coming in. But there are a lot of ways that he can knock Donaire out, to be honest with you. I just think that the right hand will end it ultimately. I think the right hand of Casimero is far more proven and tested than his left hand. Not to take anything away from his left hand though. But for decision though, if Casimero wants to win by decision, he's going to have to play that same game plan that he used against Espinosa. Okay, he lands a right hand, he smothers. He throws a left hook, he smothers. He counters, he smothers. Okay, he throws a right hand, he smothers. He throws a right uppercut, he smothers. And then he turns his opponent. He uses those wrestling tactics. He does that for 12 rounds against Donaire. I think he can win by points, absolutely, because Donaire doesn't really establish his offense well on the inside. And if Casimero uses his wrestling tactics against him, it's going to be a frustrating night for Donaire. And I think he's not going to be able to land those shots that he can normally land. You know what I'm saying? So do we have any questions I haven't been seeing any comments. I think you guys are enjoying it way too much. Yeah, we don't have any comments. We have 11 viewers though. I don't know. Maybe they're just y'all are just paying close attention. No new comments, really? Holy fuck, we've been on for 2 damn hours, guys. Holy shit, I didn't expect it to last this long, motherfucker. Imagine if Jago was here. Holy crap. Hey Jago, we can do it another time, man. But damn, I lasted 2 hours alone. Holy fuck. Alright. It's cool. We have 10 viewers in here. Nice breakdown, Mr. The Boxing Genius. Absolutely. Again, their game plan will change depending on like how they want to win. If Donaire wants to win by decision, it's gonna be the exact opposite strategy if he wants to win by knockout. If he wants to win by decision, he cannot allow Casimero to smother him. If he does want to win by knockout, though, he needs to allow Casimero to smother him. So it's quite the opposite. For Casimero, if he wants to win by decision, he needs to smother, you know. And if he wants to win by KO, I would much rather prefer him to be on the outside. But he can also like win by smothering. He can also time Donaire with a good punch on the inside. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of information. Who's Jaguar? My bad. Well, between the two of them, who's gonna have to adjust more? Definitely Donaire, because Donaire has more difficulties fighting on the back foot. And I think once he tastes the power of Casimero, he will be forced to move back. He will be forced to retreat. He will be forced to run back. You know what I'm saying? Well, to be honest, my great Casimero is the receiving of the torch. My great Casimero is the receiver of the torch. Is that correct? I don't know if I corrected your grammar or not. It was a false start, but you pulled out a good win, Boxing Genius. You're gonna do more live. Is that a question or a statement? You're gonna do more live streams. Well, we will show Donaire's age facts. Again, Donaire is older, but if you look at his work rate, he throws more punches now than in his prime. He's more precise now than in his prime. He fights better on the front foot now than in his prime. Because back then, he had that in and out footwork. You know, he can go in and out of his opponent, which means that if you go in and out like this, right? If you go in and out, tuk, 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 if you notice, right? I'm transitioning between my front foot and my back foot. Front foot in, back foot out. Front foot in, back foot out. So Donaire used to have that, and it didn't pay off well for him because, or it paid off well for him for a while, but now he's found his ultimate style, which is really to stay on the front foot. So he just leans forward like this. He doesn't even he doesn't transition between leaning forward and leaning backwards no more. Let's see. Gotta do more live streams. You gotta do more live streams. Oh, thank you. All right. So again, basically to sum up everything I said, their game plans will have to change depending on how they want to win. And it's tough because in the fight, you really don't know if you want to win by decision. Casimero will not walk in the ring and then be like, "Oh, I'm gonna beat Donaire by decision tonight. I think that's a good strategy." No, it changes. It constantly changes. And same thing for Donaire. Donaire doesn't come in and "Oh, I have a game plan that will ultimately lead me to knocking out Casimero." If he does that, he's gonna be in for a predictable, or he's gonna be in for a trap, because he's not going to be able to make adjustment. If you come in with a very predictable game plan, or if you come in with a outcome in mind already, it's tough to adjust when you're already in the middle of the fight. So you need to look at all these options and you need to keep them in your head. So if I was Casimero, if I want to win by decision, I would play the same game plan that he used against Espinosa. However, if he wants to win by knockout, I think the best way is to stay on his bladed stance and then just wait for and just time Donaire with a right hook through his guard. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Yes, you're right. So if he wants to win by decision, he has to smother. He has to square up. If he wants to win by knockout, he doesn't have to. He needs to stay in his bladed stance and then set up Casimero or set up Donaire for a powerful right uppercut or a powerful right hook through the left guard of Donaire. Wait, hold on. I didn't read that. Donaire is so predictable, man, especially for someone who refused to respect his power. What is power? His power. Okay, motherfucker. His power, his power, right? I think that's what he means. For someone who refuses to respect his power. Yeah, if Donaire will have any chance, honestly, Donaire will, again, he will need to allow Casimero to smother him in the early rounds. If he doesn't do that, he's fucked. Because if he doesn't allow Casimero to smother him, Casimero won't bother to square up and then make himself vulnerable for the left hook. You're right, and he's also more conservative with his movements. Great analysis, TBG. Thank you. James Diano. We don't have any super chats, but hopefully you guys can, hopefully some rich guy comes in the stream someday and then he can give me some money. Let's be real, Casimero didn't go in there to win by decision. His style isn't for square. His style is about inflicting as much damage. That's true. That's true. But again, we never know. If he wants the knockout, he has to say in his bladed stance. But I'm not saying that he cannot knock out Donaire while smothering. I mean, he can definitely do that. But by smothering, he also gives an opportunity for Nonito to apply my game plan, which is to like give him confidence in his smothering skills, and then later on take a step back. Casimero's about to smother him. He's gonna step back, and then he's gonna catch Casimero on the way in. When Casimero thinks that he can just smother instead of going back to his original stance. So if Casimero becomes too confident with his smothering skills, what's gonna happen is he's gonna throw his power shot, and instead of going back to his defensive stance, he's gonna resort to smothering his opponent, which is what he did against Espinosa. Instead of throwing his power shot and then moving back to his bladed stance, instead of doing this, he didn't do that. What he did was he threw the right hand and then he smothered. He leaned forward way too much. And I think that Donaire can make an adjustment later on and apply that game plan which I outlined. If he wants to catch Casimero in the bladed stance, it's going to be the uppercut as Casimero is bending at the waist. If he wants to catch Casimero with a square stance, it can't be a headshot. Why? Because when Casimero throws a right hand, his face is too far right here, so the left hook will probably just fly off. It's going to be the left hook to the body, which will really, which has the higher chance of landing. The left hook to the body. The head can move this way, but the body's still there. The body's still static. It doesn't move, you know. Okay, here's the thing. Who wins? Who wins? This is going to be the final one. We've been on for 2 fucking hours. Holy shit, imagine if Jago was here, we'd probably be on for like 3 hours. But I think we had like 30 minutes of distractions. So let's see. Let's see. For anyway. I hope your next analysis videos will be like this, not just a voice or a picture. Definitely, definitely. All right, who wins? Are there any new comments? Who wins? Casimero's bowler punches to the body are pretty nasty as well. Yeah, especially on the inside. Exactly. This format is better. Really? You guys don't like the film studies? Holy shit. You guys don't like it when I show you like their clips and stuff? Let me know what you think, Jago. What do you think? Is this really better than the fucking film studies? Boxing rounds win. 100%. Boxing fans win. Yeah, but my last question was who wins, you know? Hey, what do you think, Jagger? Is this format better than the film studies? Kind of want to get like a feedback, you know? Let's see. Man, that dude ain't fucking commenting, man. Okay, both are good, more variety. Yeah, I'll also upload a film study of this, so, you know, don't worry about that. Do both. I prefer film studies, but this is awesome too. Thank you. But this is better. Yeah, sabi ni Cuatro alas defender. Ayan, magtatagalog ako para sa'yo, pare. Okay? Let's see. Kasi nakikita ito sa mga live stream ni Mark Yao. Pilipino ka, alam ko. Alright, do both. Thank you. Yeah, I'll do both, definitely. No, let's move on to who wins. Yeah. If you look at it from I'm not saying that Casimero will win 100%, but we have to look at it as ratios. We have to weigh it, I should say. We have to weigh it down. It's tough to like say that Casimero will win 100%. Why is that? Because there's always ratios, and we should always go by ratios. If you say that, for example, divorces or all of marriages are terrible, all marriages fail, that's a false generalization. But you cannot blame a motherfucker for not marrying, because if you look at the ratio, there are more couples who get divorced than couples who doesn't, you know. So anyway, I'm getting far from this topic. I think, okay, let's see the comment. A hybrid format. You can incorporate this format as well. Okay. So here's the thing. I would, in terms of ratio, right, percentages, I would give it 70 to 30 in favor of Casimero. And again, the reason why is because the nature of his stance, just historically speaking, Donaire has had difficulties against bladed fighters in Frampton, in Rigondeaux. That dude has a hard time landing against those dudes. And if you look at the Frampton fight, the only time he really like landed a shot is when Frampton was squared up like this. He was finding it difficult to land a shot on Frampton when Frampton was like this. The bladed stance is just hard to like land it. Divorce shouldn't be legal. I can talk about divorce, no problem. But you know, let's keep it boxing. So it's definitely 70-30 in favor of Casimero, because he just has more ways to win. That's what I think. Let's see. He has more ways to win, more variety in his punches. Okay. And I think he makes some more adjustments in the fight, honestly. He's better at adjustments, definitely. But god damn, I'm not sure how long this stream will go. I have a long explanation that I reserved for why Casimero will win. But it's been 2 hours. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. If you guys have any other comments, I'll read them. But I won't make my explanation too long anymore, because it's getting late too. A hybrid format would be good as well. Yeah, I've already read this. You know what I'm saying? Feedback time, guys. Feedback time. Is this duration good, like 2 hours, or should I shorten it? I don't know. Because if you guys don't know how long it's been fucking 2 hours and 15 minutes. Was the discussion good, or is it too long? I don't know. But based on what I saw, you know, the viewers are kind of consistent. It's been at like 11 or 12 for the past hour or so. And even my moderator, like, they went away, man. My moderator were like, oh, your viewers are so smart. I thought we were gonna have some viewers who are stupid and who are gonna say some bad shit, you know. But they thought some viewers will come in here and say, fuck you, TBG. You don't trust Donaire. Fuck you. You don't go for Donaire. Fuck you. But you know, I haven't seen any, and I'm really happy about that. I haven't had to like kick anybody out. I haven't had to time anybody out. I haven't had to remove any comments because all your comments are fucking smart, man. So kudos to y'all on that. The longer the better, honestly. Bigger, longer, and uncut. Absolutely. So again, who wins? 70-30 Casimero. You guys can fucking have your own opinions about this. I'm not saying that Donaire doesn't have a chance. He has a puncher's chance. And I'm not bragging here or anything, but I think that, you know, my game plan has a higher chance of helping Donaire to win rather than any other game plans that others might recommend. So yeah, if not to be cocky here, but I think if Donaire employs one of these game plans, I think he has a puncher's chance and he can time him. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Better you go rambling and explaining things better. You got a good voice, my dude. Dude, is this one of my friends who made a dummy account? I'm not sure if it's him, but yeah, my moderator has like many accounts, and I'm not sure if this is him. My moderator has different names, you know. But yeah, thank you, Jumps Diano, if that's your real name. Yes, this is great. I didn't even notice. Yeah, 2 hours and 15 fucking minutes, man. Gets another punch like a welterweight. One clean shot can change the entire game. Not only that, he has the strength of a fucking 140 pounder almost, you know. So he's gonna push Donaire around. He's gonna bully him, and Donaire doesn't like that game. What does Donaire do when that happens? What happens is he tries to get into a firefight, and guess what happened to him against Walters? You know, the more Donaire uses momentum for his power shots, the more overcommitted he is. So I'll show you the difference. If Donaire throws the left hook like this, he won't fall off. But if Donaire leans forward and then loads up and then rotates his body and then throws the hook, now all of a sudden he's flying all over the place. Okay, he's flying all over the place. And what happens against Walters? He did that, right? He loaded up and then he flew down. What happened? Walters moved back, caught him with a fucking sledgehammer, you know? I like these types from kickboxing. Leave the gossips and dramas to them ladies and the suing circle jerkers. Yeah, them motherfuckers are just jerking each other off. Oh, you can allow vanity testing on our champion. Racial is too fucking. You know, they all have the same opinions, and they're just jerking each other off. Like, it's fucking stupid, man. And the moment someone who disagrees with them comes into their stream, they're like, you are fucking biased, you are, you know. And I'm not pointing to anybody here, but that's just how it is among boxing YouTubers, of course. Again, I'm not discarding the chances of Donaire in this fight. I think he has a chance. But Casimero I think even if Casimero, or even if Donaire employs my game plan, even if Donaire uses that game plan against Casimero, I think Casimero will make a necessary adjustment. You know, so one example is if Donaire tries to catch him with a body shot, as he throws the right hand, he's gonna pivot away, and he's gonna take this body away from the center as well. So not only does he take the head off the center, he also pivots away. So now this body's gone. Donaire cannot time it anymore. He has a lot of fucking adjustments that he can do, honestly. And I think Casimero has the IQ to adjust to any game plan that Donaire possesses. But yeah, Donaire has to really know what he's in there to do. If he wants to knock Casimero out, he needs to allow Casimero to smother him. If he wants to win by decision, he's gonna have to stay on the outside and then counter Casimero with some tapping shots. Yeah, that old one he took out super wild. He looked like Windmill Wilder at times. I'm glad he evolved from that. Even now, if you look at that fight with Inoue, he still had some wild moments, especially when again, the more momentum he has for his punch. Okay, so if he's in this position and then he throws the hook, no problem there. He's not gonna fly. But if he loads up, he's gonna fly. And unfortunately, the more frustrated he gets, the more he loads up. Discussion like this is great for boxing. Kudos. All right. Yeah, we're underrated. I thought you were just voicing your voice to be husky, but it's just a normal voice. LMAO. Dude, yeah. If you guys haven't checked like my new channel, which posts covers and stuff, I do sing as well, so you can check it out over there. Discussions like this is great for boxing. So the more Donaire loads up, the more wild he gets. And I think Casimero needs to put him in that position where he overcommits. And then he just needs to pull back a little bit, catch him with a right hook, like what Walters did to Casimero, or what Walters did to Donaire. Right? Donaire threw the hook, he got wild. Now he's in the line of fire for the right hook. Walters threw the right hook, he went down. Motherfucker. That's when Donaire really learned his lesson. So again, 70-30 for Casimero. All right, that's it for this video, guys. We have 11 viewers. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to do this more, in the future. But it's getting late here in the Philippines. If you're on the other side of the world, I think it's afternoon over there. So that was it. I'll post this on unlisted after a few days, so you probably won't see it anymore. But I'll keep it public for a while. So that was it, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.